Welcome back to Total Barnage. Today's episode, we're going to go straight into it. Today's episode, Charlotte and I. Say hi, Charlotte.
Hello.
Today's episode is about hot takes and controversial opinions.
And we're also sponsored by Ankle Swingers today.
We're sponsored by Ankle Swingers. We're out again.
Off-white
We're
socks.
outside. The weather has hit post-Easter, and we're out on the farm at the gym.
Spring is springing.
You didn't join us for the last.
I didn't, and I was quite jealous.
Yeah. But we've had upgrades. We've got comfy chairs,
Very comfy chairs.
aka just chairs with backs on them.
Yeah. Oh, there goes the bag.
But yeah, if you do hear, a blustery wind, don't be alarmed. That's just nature doing its thing.
Just soak up the vibes.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
But today's going to be about controversial opinions. Charlotte and I have both brought. Well, I've, decided to just. I'm trying to indoctrinate people. Really, this is propaganda for journaling. Is every podcast I'm now going to bring my journal.
Charlie's not a tech guy. He's a journal guy. I'm a tech girl.
Yeah, your phones.
I'm an addict.
I just found out that you use your phone as your alarm in the morning.
I think that's a very common thing, Charles.
Just because it's common doesn't mean that, most of America's obese. Doesn't mean
Bah,
that,
I'm a
it's
sheep.
healthy.
Bah, I'm a sheep.
Fair enough.
I would love to have you know what I'd love to have? The Philips Lumi alarm, the light.
Okay.
But I would get scared that I wouldn't wake up to the bright light. It's aggressive because one of my best mates has one. They are very bright.
How bright does it go?
Very bright. I remember walking into her
Friend is
room
now
at uni.
blind.
No, honestly. Shout out Chloe. I remember, she probably isn't listening. I walked into her room at uni one morning, and she worked at Next, and we were in third year, she was working. And I walked in her room, and I was like, my eyes.
Like a movie set.
They're burning. Yeah, it's like brighter than that.
Yeah.
Crazy bright.
What, the sun?
Pretty brighter than that big old orb of fire in the sky. Oh. Yeah.
Well, no, I was just going to put forward that, I think that could be. I think that's we won't go into it. But I just don't think that you should have your phone in your bedroom.
Yeah.
I think you got to keep it downstairs.
Ben's vlogging over there. Yeah. Hey, what's up, guys?
But okay,
Anyway.
right. First, let's not get sidetracked, Charlotte. Let's not get sidetracked.
Let's not.
First controversial take is, for me, get rid of all wearables. Get rid of smartwatches.
So is this a you opinion?
To be fair, I for the most part back it, which is, you might call me a hypocrite because I am literally wearing, and I use my watch on a daily basis. I just think that we've kind of lost the ability to listen to our body and tune in to like how we're feeling. We're a little bit too determined how we feel day to day by technology and by metrics.
Agreed. I think we are trying to optimize too much, and we are literally not using our bodies for anything anymore. No, but we aren't. Look, this is a deeper chat. No, that sounds very silly, me saying that. But I think we have become very reliant on technology for everything, for doing our metrics, for doing our thinking. Like, people just use ChatGPT for everything now. And I think it's a wonderful tool to use. But if you can't, like, any question, Google exists. Use your fingers and type it on Google, and you're not going to be using as much water for energy. But yeah, tangent. But yeah, no, I think we're becoming too reliant on technology for literally everything. And I think it's quite sad, and it takes away just takes away, like, can't say authenticity is not the word really, but like
it's kind of just the experience. I think it corrupts the experience a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I found this out because obviously we can talk about, like, there are like purposes, there are like benefits to having a wearable. I mean, of
course,
there's a reason why I haven't got rid of it.
Yeah.
But I found it out kind of like in a few years back when I was running and competing over the 800 meters. And the 800 meters is a bit of an event where you have one look at the clock in the race. So you start off on, the start line, 0 meters into the race. The only time that you see a clock, unless there's more than 2 clocks on the track, is when you come round for the bell lap when you're 400 meters in. And I always had a bit of a mental battle with the clock, I would always let the clock tell me how I was feeling rather than me kind of tell the clock or tell myself how I was feeling. So like if I went through a little bit fast, then I would then be waiting to kind of like blow up and die
on the gas,
sooner.
Yeah.
And if I went off too slow, I kind of, it would give me the other kind of message that I should be speeding up. And if I don't feel great, then I'm not going to have a good race.
Panic.
And so I think in that case, I wanted to be able to tell the measure how I was feeling. And this is then manifested into day on day. The first thing that I will look at, or one of the first things, is I'll see the quality of my sleep.
Yeah.
And I don't really, I want to be able to track my sleep, but a lot of times I don't want to be able to see how well or how badly I slept.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I think nowadays, if I know that I haven't had the best night's sleep, say a day before I'm going to train the next day, right? I will not look at my Whoop stats until I've trained, because if I look at, and I used to fall victim to this all the time, I would look at my Whoop stats, it would say my HRV was really low, I should probably chill out, and then I would go into my session with a negative mindset, thinking, this is going to be a really terrible session, I've had no recovery, my recovery's awful. It's like getting up in the morning, putting on the news, and it's really bad news, and it just sets you up in a really terrible mindset for the day. It's the same thing. If you're exposing yourself to something that's like, it's not your data's not 100% right. And equally, if you look at your recovery and your recovery's really good, and then you go into a session and it's not the best session, you're hard on yourself because my recovery's really good. What am I doing? It just sends your head spinning. Yeah. So I agree. I have a Whoop and I have an Apple Watch. Whoop is better for some stats, so I just was a douche and I got both. But
I would love to have a Whoop to see if I don't even know if my watch is right.
This
is a Coros. This is a running watch. I don't even know if the amount of REM that it tells me is correct. Who knows?
Uno, reverse.
Give it me.
Give it there.
But I do think, and there was actually a book that I read. It was one of the first like non-fiction kind of smart thinking, popular psychology books that I read, and it was a book by David Robson called The Expectation Effect, and it basically was a whole book about how your expectations are more influential than your biology and your genetics in certain cases. And one of the things, if I can remember this correctly, there was one about sleep and about the expectation of having a good night's sleep or a bad night's sleep, and the actual biological effects of recovery for both. And they said, they did a study and they told people that they had a bad night's sleep. And they told some people that they had a good night's sleep. And they found out that the people that slept badly but thought they slept well had better benefits of sleep than someone that actually did sleep well but was convinced that they slept badly.
That's so crazy.
And so after that I was just like, and to be fair, now it's reminded me I probably won't wear my watch over the next week or so. And it is just like you wake up, you get told your sleep score, you get told something on your Whoop, and it might be like an objectively true metric, but the way that you subjectively kind of interpret it really shapes like the rest of your day.
It's just so powerful your mind is, man. Like you can literally persuade. It's like when people persuade themselves that they're unwell. Like you can, the brain, it can make your body respond in such a bizarre way. Like you can literally just I don't know. Yeah,
that was another one of them. It was a whole thing about some sort of like Portuguese. It was like a kids kind of teenagers show, like high school show, and in this school, in real life, there was a bunch of girls of a similar age, of similar like friendship groups that all got ill at the same time.
This was the thing I was thinking about.
And the reason was they were like, I don't know why they're getting this weird illness. Like it's not contagious. Like it's really odd. I don't know why these people are getting ill at the same time. It turned out they were all just watching the same TV program.
So weird.
It sounds like bullshit.
I know.
But I'm inclined to believe it. Because
100%.
So
100%.
that goes down in my category of what is useful is better than what is true. You know, for me, even if I haven't slept well, me convincing myself that I have slept well is the best metric and the best like approach to have, rather than having everything that's completely true all the time. Like, yeah, you might be tired, but does it really matter? Like, can you trick yourself into thinking, you know, that you are feeling good and that you will have a good session? Because a lot of it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's what I do if I've got a cold virus. Until I've got that sore throat that hurts to swallow, I will tell myself I'm not ill. Because I will try and live in denial. And I feel like before, I've done it before, and I've managed to kind of pull myself out of falling into the deep end with the sore throat. You know, that's when you know.
Well, that's what I've had the last week. I just keep telling myself it's hay fever.
I'm telling myself I've got hay fever.
Sirens in the distance.
That was great. I think
Yeah,
the mics picked that up.
It's a fake it till you make it, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
But yeah, so that's wearables. I mean, it's worth saying. I would say it's not ban all wearables.
No.
It's go a whole week or 2 weeks without wearables or without looking at the stats, and then see how it goes.
Just simplify stuff. Try not to overcomplicate it, I think, is a big message from that as well. Stop overcomplicating everything, everybody.
I think it's the same also with and I'd be inclined, like when I get back to running, it'll be for a very pure purpose of just running. And for some of them, I might just I'd always look at heart rate, things like that. Oh, my heart rate's too high on this run. You know, don't really care. I'm just out for a run.
Just out for a run, mate.
It's very Carl Pilkington.
That's what I used to do with... Yeah, no, this is what I used to do with TAC, though. I'd go for the run with the group. My phone was left behind. Didn't know what the time was. Just ran a couple laps. Yeah, it's very good. And you're running in the evening past the houses and you can smell the dinners.
Oh.
Very nostalgic. Yeah. Very nostalgic. Anyway, right.
Unless you're running with us. We had James Puxty running with us, and he'd always, without fail, need to go to the toilet about 5 minutes into the run. And he'd always have to go in someone's garden.
That didn't smell of shepherd's pie. That definitely didn't smell of shepherd's pie. Might have done.
Who knows?
Off shepherd's pie. Who knows?
Right, Charlotte Knudsen. What have you got for me?
So this is kind of a question, but it is kind of a controversial thing, and I think a lot of coaches have different opinions. So, Charles, in your opinion, fat loss or muscle building, what would you prioritise first?
Initially, what's gone into my brain is muscle building.
Interesting.
Don't know if that's, you know, what would you say?
I would say step one, it's kind of client dependent.
Well, yeah, true. I mean, you've just, okay.
Yeah.
You got me there.
You really got me going.
That.
But I think predominantly, most of the clients I have, they come to me and it's a similar thing. I want to tone up. And I want to lose a bit of weight. So what I tend to do, my approach is I put them on a small cut phase to reveal what musculature they have to an extent. And then...
How long would that be?
We can then get... And it also it really depends on how healthy they are, what their kind of body fat percentage is already. Because some people you can already see how they are, right? But... You know, start them training as well, and then just a small cutting phase. Sorry, that's your question. About 8 to 12 weeks, potentially 8 for people who really, you know, haven't done this stuff before, and kind of educate them on nutrition. And for most, it's less so of a cutting phase and more of just a body recomposition. So just making sure they're kind of being a little bit more on point with their nutrition, and you know, having enough of each macro nutrient as well, because I think a lot of people are quite unbalanced. And from like a kind of hormonal standpoint as well, you know, if you're not getting enough healthy fats in, if you're not getting enough protein in, stuff becomes out of whack and your body's inflamed, so you might look, you know, 5 kilos heavier than you are just from being slightly inflamed. So yeah, my initial standpoint for me, most of the times, 9 times out of 10, would be do a small cutting phase, see how they are, and then kind of build from there, because then you've also got a nice little baseline where you can then slowly build the calories up and help them gain muscle at the same time. But
yeah, I guess what I'm thinking is if you were to get someone just to build some muscle, see, it depends what they've been doing before. But initially, like, let's say you're just getting them to increase a bit of their protein intake and actually come and lift some weights.
Yeah.
I think then the fat loss would be downstream of that naturally.
Kind of adds in. Yeah, like, I agree.
I always try and think, like, what's the key determinant of whether a lot of my clients, when I first start working with them, are going to stick to, you know, their plan.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is the root cause of a, you know, a bit of positive momentum, and then what's the one that undoes it?
100%.
And I think it's in a similar way, like in that sense, is if they stop tracking their food, then everything else might go out the window as well. That's one thing which, like, can remind you day to day what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I think if you've put your chips on the table for your, not your actual chip, well, actually you put your chips in the bin, but you put your chips on the table for the getting yourself down to the gym and to train.
Yeah.
Then for the rest of it, you're going to say, like, I mean, you either go to one of two ways. You either say, okay, I'm really going for it. I'm committed to the process. And you eat well beyond that and you try and refuel properly. Or you say, oh, I'm going to eat back the calories. And I'm going to go.
Oh, I've earned this.
Yeah, I've earned it.
I've earned this fish and chips after my hybrid class. No.
No, you haven't.
No, you haven't.
It's literally recorded, like, right after
You've only just burned off the
Easter egg.
bagel that you ate this morning, sir. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, but I think it's like, you know, you get the ball rolling with getting into the gym. You also then, if, you know, you are doing either a class or a PT session or anything where you can see other people, it then gives you that reminder of, like, you know, if you are someone that's competitive and you use other people as a good motivator, for your own, like, progress, then you'll see someone and go, oh, I want to beat them. Oh, like we had the fitness testing last week here. So people doing some unbelievable planks. You're toxic.
So
There were some
toxic.
fights breaking out.
No, it was competitive, but it was great. Great spirit from everybody. Very competitive energy, but not toxic. I'm only taking the mick. It was
very
healthy competition, yeah.
Everyone was cheering each other
Everyone
on.
was cheering, exactly. Secretly.
Yeah. They go home, they're like, right, I'm going to beat that person.
Bloody Ross, who's doing his 11-minute plank.
11-minute plank.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
I could not do that. Of course I could. It's a mindset thing, right? But
You think it
I
is?
could not want to do
I
that.
think the plank is all mindset.
I think a big part of it is, but it's also your core strength. If your core strength's crap, you're not going to be holding a plank for 8 minutes.
If you were to say you're someone that has really poor core strength, how long do you think you could hold a plank for? Just like if you had an unbreakable mindset,
Well,
but really poor
you'd
core
hurt
strength,
yourself.
Like, what's the limit?
but I think some people, like, think about postnatal women, right? If they've had diastasis rectus, when you get separation in your abs, their core strength, and it's not, I don't like saying it's really bad because I feel like that's a really negative connotation, but they've lost a lot of core strength because
Understandable weakness.
Yeah, it's an understandable weakness, exactly. But they can't hold a plank for, like, some of them I've been coaching, and it's like, some of them will struggle to hold it for 30 seconds.
And we're not going to force them to either.
No, exactly. But you have to. It's just a way you have to build it up, and that's, as I said, it's not them having bad core strength. It's an understandable weakness, and what that tooting in the background is wild.
This is going to be your
I really don't know if
your challenge to not get distracted by the tooting in the background.
difficulty level 1000.
I think I guess if you can hold a plank for a minute and a half,
It's pretty good.
what's stopping you from holding it for 5 minutes? I know there's going to be a limit at some point.
Yeah.
But really, it was just incredible. Like, Graham.
Just hit them with it. It's got 10 more seconds. You can do 30. You tell them that, and they can, and they're shaking like a shit and dog, but they can do it. Yeah, Graham was. Oh my god.
Graham was shaking for 6 minutes.
From minute 3 though, like just up.
He said he'd only ever done 4 minutes before. His best was 4 minutes, and he did 10 minutes and 17 seconds.
That man is a machine.
It's great. But that's all mental.
Yeah. Anyway,
So muscle building versus fat loss.
very relative.
Build them, whatever builds momentum.
Yeah.
I guess first, like if you want to reveal, with fat loss that it works. Guys said it before. He'll get people, even if they are trying to do something a little bit unsustainably, get them results first, and then get the process going, just as a bit of proof.
They see
concept.
that the coaching works. Yeah, it's visual, especially when you're starting out. You need that visual proof, because otherwise you're like, well, nothing's happening, and like you've struggled with motivation before. You see stuff, you get motivated. Yeah.
Okay, next one. Is your lack of progress bad programming or just bad execution?
It's so funny because I had this in mind as well.
Did you actually?
Yeah. So is your lack of it?
If someone's not making progress, if someone listening to this, it feels like a big call out. Probably is. If you're listening to this and you're not making progress, and you got to ask yourself, is it the programming that is bad? Is it the diet that doesn't work? Is it the workout? Or are you just not doing it properly?
I hate to be the big blue meanie, but I think I don't like, because we are both quite nice. I think people would see us as nice coaches, right? Mm-hmm. But here's a bit of tough love. I think 9.99999 times out of 10, it's that they're not doing it right. Mm-hmm. And it's a case of like, with programming, most coaches, if you have a standard PT qualification, we've all learned the same thing. So, obviously with experience, you learn a lot more stuff, and you learn also how to guide clients in a slightly better way and adapt to different clients. You can kind of see their behaviours and how you can help them to follow a plan. But any person who has a basic PT structure knows how to structure a full body workout well, knows how to help with nutrition. And if you are given basic direction, which is scientifically proven to help you get results in a certain amount of time,
you're just not doing the work.
And I learned this a hard way when I started coaching, because I had a few clients when I first started out, long gone now, that weren't getting results because they weren't adhering to what I'd given them. And there's that famous saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Mm-hmm. And sometimes the horse just won't drink. And that's not, and I used to think that was me. I used to think I was a terrible coach, but I have now since had some fantastic clients who have done what I've asked them to do, and they look incredible, and they've made incredible progress. And I think I'm a great coach, and it just takes the right person. If it's how much do you want it? Mm-hmm. And when I've done check-ins where people are saying, I just feel like and like, why am I not making progress? Why is my weight plateauing? And I'll go on the check-in and go, okay, so have you done X amount of steps today? Have you nailed your water intake? Are you sleeping enough? I look at their sleep. Their sleep's terrible. If you're trying to lose weight, if your sleep is awful, your weight loss is going to be slow, and it's going to be frustrating, and you're not going to be able to also put energy into things that help you lose weight. Right?
Yeah.
So I think,
Could you go a bit into that? Why that's the case? A couple of
with your sleep?
If your sleep's poor, why can't you just,
It's such a knock-on effect, man. So, and we've spoken about this a lot with me, with feeling knackered and just not great all the time. If your sleep is not good, there is a huge knock-on effect into how that affects your day. So your sleep's not great. You're gonna wake up. Oh, I'm really, really tired. Okay, let me have some caffeine to fix that. You're then going to probably be topping yourself up with caffeine the whole of the day, which is putting your body into that elevated, overly alert state because you're probably having too much caffeine. That's going to then lead you into having another late night, and that's going to have a knock-on effect on the quality of your sleep, on how much sleep you're getting. So there's that point. So your body's already quite stressed because you're constantly making your heart rate quite a lot higher.
Yeah.
You're also feeling knackered, which is going to affect your mood. It's going to affect how motivated you feel. You're going to do a workout. You're going to be tired. You're going to fatigue easier on stuff that you shouldn't really be fatiguing on. Your mindset's already wobbled because you're knackered. So you're gonna go, oh, I'm not feeling it today, and you're gonna go home, and it's just that knock-on effect. And I mean, you are the sleep meister,
100%.
but your sleep is where the magic happens. It's where the recovery happens. It's where you build that muscle. It's where your mind processes stuff from the day. It's where you gather all your memories for the day and process that, and all that feedback is so important to recovery, to just basic human function. And mood is a big part of that, I think. If you are feeling tired and then you're feeling awful, then you're just not gonna have good days where you're kind of being tired. And also, tiredness leads to hunger. And if you are knackered, you will go for sugar. 9 times out of 10 you reach for the crappy bits because they're easy to get, because it requires less effort to open up a processed packet of God knows what.
And the path of least resistance.
Yeah. And it just, and you're probably going to have a glass of wine at the end of the day because you're tired and it's been a stressful day. Okay, cool. Oh, 2 glasses in. Oh, Sheila, you've now had a bottle of wine before your bed, which is going to affect your quality of sleep again. So it is just a knock-on effect, and it adds, yeah.
I'm going to go, yeah, I think it's so true. I always say that sleep, you talk about the kind of the pillars of your nutrition, your training, your mindset, and your recovery. And then add in their sleep, but I think sleep is the foundation.
Your foundation.
The rest of the pillars sit on top of sleep as the foundation. Because, my another explanation that I kind of how I view it is more of not as much of a scientific way, but for me, what keeps me kind of sticking to in alignment with my values and goals, the thing that allows me to do that continuously is having access to a reminder of those values and goals. So it's all about, it's not really about staying on track. It's about when you get off track, how quickly can you get back on track? And that might be a few minutes of time where you come off track. It might be, a couple of hours, it might be a couple of days or weeks or, God forbid, a couple of years. And for me, it's always accessing, I'll write all of the stuff down in this little journal.
This little book of mine.
And you get to the point, right? You get to the point where none of this is really that new, what I'm writing down. You get to a point where I'm like, I kind of know how to train. It's quite simple. Keep it simple. You have the measures, the extra little bits, the heart rate, the things that you want to hit, the 1%ers. But, all you need to do is you remind yourself of the basics. And if I have poor sleep, in my mind, in my kind of memory almost, I don't have space to remind myself clearly. I don't have clarity of my goals. Yeah. And the times when I feel like I've genuinely had unlimited motivation is when I have exactly, no space between where my mind is at and how far away my kind of goals are and the importance of what I'm doing in the moment. And so I think, sleep for that is one which it's got to be fixed.
It's so important.
And I'm always I'm almost on the side of I know that sometimes you can't get great sleep and it's the next best alternative. But where would you sit if I said don't train, go out for walks and stuff, but don't train unless you've started improving your sleep?
To be honest, I'd agree with that. I think sometimes training can help people sleep better at night. So there's kind of how do I say it?
It's that contributive factor, isn't it, of the training? Chicken or egg.
Yeah.
What helps what?
And if you're releasing, if you get a good session in and you're releasing, your endorphins, you're gonna feel a bit more kind of happy and at peace, and that I could argue that would help with a better night's sleep. But I do think, and it's something I will always check in with my clients, it's how are we doing with our sleep now? Because if your sleep is terrible and then you're just pushing yourself constantly and your body's just not gonna like you at all. And it's one of those things you can push, but people always say that with because there's that toxic kind of gym things like nobody cares, work harder kind of vibe. David Goggins core.
The grind set.
But sometimes, you have that toxic mentality and you keep pushing yourself. And if you don't let your body have a rest, it will let you know that it needs a rest. And that will be, you getting injured. Yeah.
My knee.
Exactly. So you'll find out sooner or later if you've pushed your body too hard anyway. And a big part of, recovery and, being able to push your body to a better limit is getting in a good night's sleep. So, back to where we were talking about.
No, I think it all ties into one.
Yeah, exactly.
I just found this weekend just went on my stepbrother's stag do. And recovery, terrible. Right? Terrible recovery. Getting in way too late, sleeping on a hostel mattress.
God.
Worse than like a gym mat.
Oh,
like one of the kind of like little puffy ones.
Oh, I know those ones.
I did my ski erg session on Friday morning to get it done.
Good boy.
Planned my week so that I could have a bit of a blowout and like get engaged, all the fun at the weekend.
Big summer blowout.
Why? Big summer blowout.
Yoo-hoo. Sorry.
I'm not gonna lie. Normally, I do my ski erg session, then the next day, for the last few weeks, I've been absolutely fine. Yeah. My upper body has been aching, and still somewhat aches today, and it's Tuesday.
And for those of you who haven't met Charlie consistently in real life, you see him a lot. E.g. the Barnage members. If you don't see him consistently, like I see Charlie pretty much every day. Charlie always looks like a ray of sunshine. But if there's one thing you can tell with Charlie, you can tell if that boy hasn't had a good night's sleep because he never looks tired. But it is obvious if he hasn't had a good night's sleep. If you've gone out. Tired. You and it's funny because you always look great. So like you always look great, mate. But you'll come in and like that's why I feel like I've got the free hall pass to go.
Waiting.
So you go, you look really tired today.
Just waiting to shit on me one day. I actually had 9.5 hours.
Because the sun shines out of your arse,
does it?
Usually. So it's quite funny. I feel like I pounce on the opportunity.
That is the fucking biggest backhanded compliment I've ever received in my entire life.
But it is. But you don't look. It's not that you look bad. You are quite visibly just tired. If
Great.
You're tired.
Thanks.
Ugly bastard when you're tired.
I love it when you come in you're tired because I really have a fucking
it's great because just like I always look tired at work, so it's really funny when he sinks to my level. I'm like, join me, join me.
No, one of us.
One of us. Would you like a coffee, Charlie?
Yeah, you look tired.
You look tired. That is one of the worst things someone can say to you, though, isn't it? That's why I say it, because I think it's funny. But if someone comes up to you, you look quite tired, love. You're like, thank you.
Thanks.
I look like
it's the kids.
Shite. It's the kids. The plenty kids that we have, plenty of kids.
All the kids. Okay, so yeah, that's what I would say. Going back to it, sleep, massively important, but you can still train when you're tired.
Yeah.
You just won't have the access to the reminder, be it the motivation in the moment or the general motivation or the discipline to stick to your goals. And
precisely.
But just make sure that even if you haven't slept well, that the training itself might give you the kind of like push, the nudge, or just make you tired enough so that you will go to bed.
Yes.
Go to bed early.
And if you want results with the coach, and you can see the coach has got good results with other people, you have to ask yourself, am I doing everything they're asking me? Mm-hmm. Back to that initial.
That was the main bit, wasn't
That's
it?
exactly it. So, yeah, I think a lot of the times people just, bad execution. And I don't like... Because you know what, the reason I like to say this, because I feel like it is quite pointing the fingers at the client, but otherwise it's consistent pointing the fingers at the coach. And I've had people who've spoken about their coach's experience. This isn't a client, like this is people that I've just known who've had coaches and they're like, oh, they're terrible coach, like I didn't get the results I wanted. And you're like, well, mate, were you following the program that they gave you? It's like, okay, no, I was going out every weekend and drinking with my friends and then having a kebab after and stuff like that. It's like the secret eating that a lot of people will do. They're like the weekend warriors. They'll be really good in the week, and then on the weekend they'll just blow out, and then they've put themselves into a surplus if they were trying to lose weight, stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah.
And actually, on the flip side, is just because I think it's more in the athlete sense that I've experienced in America, in the NCAA system out there. Because I was out there, for those of you that might be new listeners, or I actually don't talk about it much in this podcast because I'm not going to sue them. And I don't really like to talk too badly about people. But my experience out there, I went out there for a year, got injured basically straight away, came back, got put onto loads of anti-inflammatories, injury, Achilles, stress fracture, knee problem. Year and a half later, trying to get through a knee problem, came back home. Within that year and a half, ended up at the end, was like, nothing's working, tried everything, spent loads of money on physio, spent, loads of time doing rehab. Nothing was making a difference. So then I got surgery, and here's where I am with my surgery, which is the recovery's going all right. But the
Quad
point,
diameter?
But the point is, I tell you about the quad.
You did give us a little update the other day. Has there been more?
It took me 3 weeks to regain the size of my quad from my right to my left.
Fucking legend, mate.
Yeah. But the point being, out in America is there are a lot of programs by very, very good and prestigious universities and colleges. The one that I went to, there is now no one in the program apart from a select few athletes. And this was kind of the case in our middle distance group. Was there'll be one person that would survive the training. And actually, it's because they didn't do the training. It's because they didn't do the easy runs, which were too hard. So they avoided injury by actually not doing the programming. Those that followed it properly got injured. Jeez. And it was the athlete that managed to stay healthy that ended up winning the titles, which made the program look amazing. So sometimes it's not the coach and it's not the program, it's the recruitment or just the quality of the athlete themselves.
Yeah.
Like, and that's on the elite side of things. And that's something that I realised, like, slightly when I was out there, but even afterwards, I'm just so reluctant to kind of point the finger. Like, I would always blame myself for my injuries because I wanted to take accountability for it. It comes to a certain point because I'm like, have I done everything? Literally everything. Like, I'm doing hours of rehab a day or maybe taking months to rest if I need to rest, and trying to work on my mindset and trying to work on everything else. And it's only really dawned on me that I've been pretty nailed on with this process of like recovery.
So good, man.
And I'm making loads of progress.
Yeah.
So I could probably kind of eliminate like me maybe being the root.
You're the problem. You're the problem.
I'm the problem.
Yeah.
And yeah, I kind of came to the realization that like, as someone that can follow a plan, the actual plan doesn't actually have to be amazing in a PT sense. Like, you could have a coach that doesn't have amazing programming, but if you're a really good client and you're hitting all of your nutrition, you could still make results with that on that side.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or you go out to America and they kind of almost ruin your career.
Yeah. Don't follow the college programs in America.
Some of them are great. Some of them are great, and they get some great results.
Sure.
Well, I hope so.
No, I agree.
Otherwise, there's a big
I think also the thing is with those programs, the way people progress is so individual that if you've got a whole group of people following it, some people might flourish, and potentially some people might just be, genetic elite and they can recover from these programs, but not everybody can. And that is also why having a coach for yourself is great, because they learn how your body works. Yeah,
and a coach that knows also is kind of in line with your values and where you want to go. I think my experience is very, very individual, but can be it can be used as experience in other aspects of life, which is that I was only out there for a year and a half, like 2 seasons. So they needed to squeeze as much out of me as possible.
Oof.
Easy. They squeezed almost everything out.
They squeezed all my juices.
And the reason why I left was because I could see that if I did try and like keep medicating on anti-inflammatories and keep trying to run, that it would probably ruin the rest of my whole career.
Clip EastEnders, Ian Beale. I've got nothing left. Do.
Copyright.
Oh yeah, don't worry. They don't know what we're singing.
Charlotte, next one. What do you got for us?
Hold the line, callers. So,
unpopular opinion number 4.
Unpopular opinion number 4. Are the clean eating and whole food approach being overhyped?
Are you talking about not eating ultra processed food?
Yeah. And like people not having, just like really stripping it back. And yeah.
We're not talking as bad as like Liver King.
No, that's
we're not going, like,
some
ancestral,
messed up. I
more-
mean, that guy was on a S ton of gear as well. That's
Yeah,
not very
true.
clean eating of him.
Yeah, what a surprise.
Underground labs.
No
That's
way.
not clean eating.
It's literally red as liver.
Oh
It's just
God,
like-
he looks so unwell.
Okay, but this is like what Casper said in the last episode about kind of avoiding the middle
Middle
aisle
aisle,
of
yeah.
shopping centre. Not Lidl. The middle of Lidl's got some great
Middle of Lidl's got some
Crocs
great
and-
deals, mate. Lovely dog
Frisbees.
beds.
Yeah, sleeping bag.
Egg poaching cups. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so what like specifically, what kind of stuff are we talking about?
I guess it is avoiding like UPFs, ultra processed foods. I think there's a lot of TikToks of like, you know, I used to look like this and now I look like this because I don't eat ultra processed foods. But it was also like, I don't know. I think, you know, people get like the little side profiles and they feel a little bit, and then they're like, it's like, okay, well, you did also just lose a load of weight because you weren't having that extra stuff. But like, I think I don't want to be the one who said it, but I think just everything in moderation.
I'm gonna say I don't know much about the specifics.
People will use the app to scan and like, oh, it's got this in. Oh, I can't eat my Lloyd Grossman bolognese sauce. You know, I think some people get a bit too scared of everything.
I mean, I'm sure that I could probably be doing a lot better, but I keep it very simple. I probably buy the cheapest meat from Sainsbury's. Like, I'm not going for premium organic. Is that where I should be going?
It's just
I don't know the
bloody
funds for
expensive, isn't it? Free-range chicken thighs from Sainsbury's cost you like £9 for a pack sometimes. And I just think that's... I understand, because when you think about it from a morality standpoint as well, you think that chicken's life was probably worth at least £9, you know? But you look at it in a pack of chicken, it's bloody expensive, put that back on the shelf. Yeah, I used to be a very, very avid free-range meat chicken buyer. Sometimes now I go high welfare, and I know there's the argument of greenwashing, but we did actually have an old member who used to be an RSPCA officer. Greenwashing is
I feel like I'm terrible for not knowing.
No, so greenwashing I actually learned, but this is actually a term from my fashion degree, so I don't think a lot of people do learn it, but it's like when companies will say that they're doing all these sustainable things and it makes them look really good, but actually they're doing the bare minimum, they're still really polluting the world. And it's like, I guess greenwashing might not be the right term. It kind of is, really. It's like, so like anything that's considered more sustainable, and that, you know, you put higher welfare chicken on the label, and actually you get the investigations that go to these farms and they expose the farmers, and chickens are getting run over by tractors and stuff, and it's not very high welfare of them. But I spoke to one of our old members who used to be an RSPCA officer, so I said, I asked her, I was like, are the higher welfare farms actually doing what they're saying with higher welfare? Because some of them, they do, some of them will just lie, and then they get exposed. And she actually said, it's actually really sad, because a lot of these farmers who aren't, they're, you know, it might not be free range chickens, but they're inside, but they are doing a lot for their animals, and they do care about the animals. Obviously, you know, at the end of the day, the animals make a profit to their farm, but they do care about their animals. And she was telling a story of this farmer who had barn hens, but they, you know, they had space. It wasn't, they were all being stumpled on and just horrible misery. But a group of vegans bashed into the farm and broke into the barn, and a load of the chickens died of shock because they had smashed through the door. And the farmer, the RSP said, turned up, the farmer was really, really upset because, you know, a load of his chickens had died from shock because these people had smashed into the barn to kind of expose the farm. But actually, it was fine.
That's a terrible thing to happen.
It's just mental, isn't it? And, you know, they provide toys, and like, yes, the chickens, it's not the best quality of life, but God, the way we're just talking about free range chickens, this is great.
Well, I'm keeping my mouth shut because this is like.
It's also a difficult.
I just try and eat
don't
well.
want to get cancelled.
This is it. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
It's the same way. Like, and this is our unpopular opinion. This is kind of just like. I'll probably get loads of people throwing eggs at me. Hopefully, well, free range.
Yeah, free range. Scoop them up, put them in the pan.
And it's the same thing that I kind of like. I focus on the macro factors.
Yeah.
It's like I don't watch the news.
Yeah.
I don't have the news on my phone.
No.
I don't personally think there is, from what the impact that I'm able to have down at work, in my friends' lives, and some people that I meet, for me, it's not worth the kind of background ambient like anxiety of having the news and having things and like terrible things going on in the world where I'm going to be exposed to them. They're going to make me feel a certain way.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be in a position, realistically, to do much about it.
Yeah.
You can post something on your story.
Yeah.
I don't think it's probably going to make a huge amount of difference.
No.
And so I kind of look at what's the thing that's going to like move the needle, that's not going to really go against my ethics and morals.
Yeah.
And like, I don't mind buying cheaper chicken for the sake of me paying loads of money towards my knee.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to look at, after my training, I'm going to see like, I don't need to look at the 1%ers and all the little, the really little things that's going to improve recovery. Like, I'm not going to go to cold plunge. I'm not going to go to red light therapy, cryotherapy chambers, all that sort of things. I'm going to go for decent food that's like pretty clean. I'm going to avoid, it's more so avoiding the really bad stuff.
Yeah.
And really having all the good stuff. I think cut out, and this is probably, ultra processed food. I know there's a book on it.
Yeah.
Ultra processed food that I should probably read.
Yeah.
But I always see a lot of things in my life is I'll cut out the stuff that's undoing me, and then the good stuff will kind of come about. And then if I want to, let's say I had a bit more money, I'd probably go for higher quality stuff.
Yeah, agreed.
But I'm still in a very much a student mindset and at home on a budget, that if I'm going to make food, I'm going to go and get a fajita packet. I'm going to have the sauce that's in there. I don't know if it's bad or good or not.
Oh, it's probably got loads of chemicals in there, mate. The ultra processed warrior's going to come for you.
And my body's okay at the moment. I'm still able to do all the stuff that I need to do. If something was, really wrong, then I'll probably look at my lifestyle as well.
I agree.
Just like, probably be mindful. I think it's probably good to be mindful. I might, some people say I might need to check myself on a few values and things.
I think that's it.
Just do the 90%. Don't think too much about the 1%ers in the fitness journey. You don't think about eating really, really super healthy. Just cut the crap.
And don't obsess over superfoods as well. Superfoods,
marketing.
Your blueberries and your frozen blueberries are super cheap. Not super cheap, but a lot cheaper. Frozen raspberries, a lot cheaper, and their antioxidants are just as good as your acai berries, which will set you back maybe, I don't want to say a random price, but probably like £6 for like one pack of like pureed. And look, don't get me wrong, smoothie bowls are delicious. Acai bowls, if you go somewhere,
they look good on Instagram.
Oh, they're so great. They do taste good. But yeah, people obsess over superfoods and putting what are those little red dried berries, goji berries, stuff like that. You can get just as much vitamin C from your blueberries, your strawberries, your raspberries that you can get from a little farm down the road in summer. And I think that's as well, like talking about kind of stuff like budgeting with chicken and stuff. I think that's what a lot of people struggle with, because they'll try and be ethically better, and you get people who shame you for not buying free range chicken and stuff. And I think that's a big part of the problem. And I used to and I do, if I'm in the financial position is the right word, financial position to buy free range chicken, I will. I'll try my best, but sometimes money's small. And sometimes we have to make that work. And I think with a whole food diet, people say, oh, it's just too expensive, and that is a big issue with a lot of families. I think in the UK, the cost of living isn't great at the moment, and if you've got a big family, sometimes the cheaper, more processed foods are they're cheaper and they're more affordable. But it's just stripping it back. And I think I've always been really lucky, and I think you're the same, to be raised with a family that cooks like kind of using single ingredient products.
Yeah.
Right? A chicken, pasta, some vegetables. Chicken, rice and vegetables, chicken, potatoes, and there's more than just chicken that you can eat. We've been talking about so much chicken, beef. But you know, if you're having your veggie stuff as well, but yeah,
tofu. We can't accommodate everyone.
Tofu, right? Yogurt, tempeh. You got your vegan, your veggie, eggs,
every single
free range eggs.
But you've missed out. You've missed out tomatoes.
Yeah. And when people, bumblebee. Sorry. When people with organic foods as well, you know, that you get scaremongered into making, nowadays, you know, everything has to be organic. If you really do worry about organic vegetables and the pesticides that they use on farms, that, you know, there are some that are carcinogenic. You are falling in a hole. Get up, Charles. There is a list of vegetables that are actually, if you look online, there's a list of vegetables that are okay to buy if you really worry about pesticides, that don't actually absorb the pesticides when they're sprayed with them. So if you look that up online, I can't remember the specifics, but I think things like carrots and stuff are okay. Carrots and stuff, very vague.
I saw a video yesterday. People were raving about it. They were raving about it on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it was a guy who's just walking down the street, and he said, if you've got a leaky bucket, fix the leak before you fill up the bucket. And it's about what is the thing that's undoing your progress? Like, are you continually pouring water into a bucket with, you know, all of the fancy stuff, all the things that look great? You know, are you doing like the 1%ers? Are you going in the sauna, but you're not actually getting your 7, 8, 9 hours sleep? You're not getting your sleep, all right? Are you drinking your lemon water, which I don't think does anything really? But
lemon and apple cider vinegar in the morning, guys. It's the number one fat loss hack. But the 2026.
You know, but you're doing that in the morning, and then you're going and overeating in the evening, and you're questioning like, well, I had that lemon water. Yeah. You know, is it fix?
It's probably just going to damage your enamel and your teeth.
Just be careful, right?
Careful with those lemons.
And I don't know, you know, some of those things, you know, they might. I need to brush up on my science. Some of them might work, but you've got to think. And we did this. I remember when we were going through our like fitness myths and gym hacks and episode, which is like, is it the thing itself, or is it what goes, you know, everything around it? Is it that you've cut out carbs and that really works, or is it just that you've cut out carbs, which means that you've just cut out calories?
Just reduce calories, yeah.
Like, is it the carbs, or is it the fact that you just got less calories?
Oh, cutting out carbs.
That kind of thing, right?
Irritating.
But I think that's about it. Charlotte, any last word? Is there anything that's on the tip of your tongue that you really want to?
Well, one last thing that I guess we could kind of tie in with the cutting out carbs, and, you know, people believing the reason they're not losing weight is for some other reason apart from the fact that they're not in a deficit. Is your diet really not working? No. What is it? It's like, my hormones are not okay at the moment, which is why I'm not losing weight. I see so much stuff. A lot of my algorithm is, and all the comment sections are the same. It's like someone that says, you know, I'm in a calorie deficit, but I'm not losing weight. What? Wrong.
What are the reasons? Like, from a hormonal perspective. So there are certain things that, because then, you know, you just get someone in the comments that just goes, it's thermodynamics. It's literally energy in, energy out. Yeah. Which my brain makes a lot of
simplest
sense.
Explanation.
Simplest way, and it is science as we best know it. Yeah. What are the main factors why it's not the case? So
I am not a medical professional. And I'd like to make that very clear.
I can second that. Charlotte's
but sometimes there will be a few things that might be causing their calorie deficit to not be as effective as someone who has everything in whack. So there's stuff like, say someone's like potentially pre-diabetic, or if they have like an insulin resistance, if their body can't process the carbs properly and utilize them for energy, I don't want to sound really dumb because I might be completely wrong, but it might. And same with like PCOS, you get insulin resistance with that. And sometimes that means you do end up storing extra fat, and you might not be eating the highest amount of calories. I don't want to delve into it because I do not know enough. I would like to educate myself more on it, and I will do that. But that's maybe something that we can dive deeper into on another podcast, because I don't want to spread misinformation. Yeah. But people, sometimes there might be a reason that your calorie deficit isn't working the way you want to, despite the fact that you're pushing quite hard. But anyway, I think...
you might be tracking absolutely everything.
Yeah.
And you're still not losing weight.
Yeah.
And it might be because, again, it's like a bit of wearables.
Yeah.
It's your watch telling you burnt loads of calories, which they're up to like 40% inaccurate.
Yeah, do not trust your watch on how many calories you've burnt in a day. Because then you'll probably say, oh God, I need to be eating 800 calories if I need to lose any of this weight. And that's probably not the case.
Yeah. Best thing to do in the case of like, is it your cortisol levels?
Yeah.
Is it this? Is it that? Get a blood work.
Get your blood work done. Speak to a professional about it. Yeah. Who knows? You could have thyroid issues. That could be a thing. But get your thyroid panel done. I did that.
And what did you find?
Well, it was actually pretty underactive a while back, but then the bloods did improve over time because I really had it in my head I had an underactive thyroid, and that's the reason I was always a chubby kid. But I did also love eating lots of carbohydrates and lots of fatty things when I was a kid, so those are slightly more calorie dense, and that might have been why I was a bit more chonk.
Maybe.
Anyway,
not going to fat shame you as a kid.
I was a bit of fatty bum bum, but hey, cute, chubby little kid.
Boom. You want another cream cake?
Need the horn to go off again in the background now.
Well, on that note, Charlotte, thank you so much for joining.
It's been real, Charles. It always is.
It's always real. If you are new here, drop a like, a follow, a subscribe. Episodes every Monday and Thursday.
Click the big thumbs up if you're on YouTube.
Yeah, and drop us a comment. Give us some hate. Say
Please
the thing
don't.
that you did. Pick apart this podcast. Pick one slight word that we said that was out of sequence. One slight bit which could be contentious.
Oh God!
On a podcast that is literally about controversial takes.
Cancel us.
And
Do
cancel us. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.
Bye.